We're back to Pantry Time with Coco. I'm an intuitive tarot reader and a spell worker. So I've shifted the mic so that it looks a bit different. But in this video, I do want to talk about how do you discern if it's your energy that you're feeling or if it's someone else that you're connected to that you're feeling. This requires practice and this requires multiple steps. And there's a reason why practitioners often have to be a clear vessel. And I would say it's not just, this doesn't just apply to practitioners. This applies to every soul on earth, human beings, including you. It is so important for people to be in that state of clarity so that they are able to tell things apart, whether it's their own emotions, whether they're picking on other things. So some backstory on how I think this insight came to me was I'm definitely an empath, right? And an empath means that I'm able to pick up on people's energies really easily. I'm very, 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 very sensitive to environment, which is why I'm very selective with the people I hang out with. I'm very selective in curating my environment, physical environment, social environment. Not because I feel like, people are toxic, I gotta stay away from them. Not so much that, but I'm very easily affected by people's energy, their emotions, okay? And being an empath also means that sometimes it's hard to tell whether it's someone else's feelings that you're picking up on or if it's your own. And when it comes to romantic connections, if you do have a soul connection, like a past life connection, multiple life incarnation with someone, it's so easy for you to be bound to that individual in terms of what they're going through, even though you guys might not be talking in the moment. Hold on, my cat's gonna pee on the sofa. I gotta stop her. She was 100% gonna pee on the sofa. But it's okay. So I was saying that it's very important then especially for people who are very sensitive to energies, if you find yourself to be maybe you had depression or you have depression, anxiety, these are also indicators that you are someone who's very sensitive emotionally, and sometimes it really might not be your energy that you're picking up on that has been bugging you. I had multiple instances through this 1 year plus of running Akashic crystals. I would say during this 1 year, I've grown so much spiritually, not by choice, by circumstances. And when you evolve, I wouldn't say you heighten or elevate, right? But when you evolve spiritually, when you're made aware of a lot of other things and energies that have been around us for the longest time, but we were just unconscious to it, you become so sensitive. You become it's like a magnet for negative energy, maybe entities, and sometimes, psychic and energetic vampires. So those are people who often are narcissists, right? And they expect a lot from empaths. They want to feel better. That's why they connect with empaths who can make them feel better. At the same time, draining empaths of their energy while they recharge their own. And that causes empaths to feel very tired and exhausted, things like that. How do you identify if you're someone who is very sensitive is if you're an overgiver in relationships. It's always a pattern. If you tend to give yourself and you prioritize other people's needs over yours, these are things that you might want to listen to. This might be the video for you as well. So, in order for you to identify and discern whether it is your energy or someone else's thoughts, energy that you're picking up on, you have to first be a very clear vessel, which brings me to the point that I was trying to touch on earlier, which is why if you look at practitioners in the industry, spiritual, religious industries, why do they have to make sure that they are away from substances, alcohol, right, meat, for a very good reason. It's actually a very logical explanation. It's not that spiritual, after all, it's about energy. When you drink, naturally you make bad decisions. Okay, so alcohol is known to be low vibrational, and this is something that I was debating with for the longest time because I was an alcoholic. Okay, alcohol was my ride or die. I could not live without alcohol. Oh, the thumbs up. So it wasn't even a conscious decision for me to be like, I'm staying away from alcohol. Over time, as I evolve spiritually, as I become more aware of how I'm feeling, am I feeling better today? Am I feeling calm today? Am I balanced? Am I grounded today? It gets increasingly obvious to me the difference that I feel when I do take alcohol. I don't feel great. I feel like shit. In the moment, yeah, it's fun. I'm happy. But the next day, things like that, you would start to feel very drained. Things like that. And it could be physical as well. But after all, it doesn't matter whether it's physical or spiritual. You just don't feel great. Alcohol distorts your perception. The inability to make great and conscious decisions. Okay, so alcohol is one of them. Caffeine is one of them, but caffeine is something that I'm, on the fence because I'm not addicted to it. I love the taste of coffee, but I don't have to have it every single day. So personally, I feel like as long as I'm not taking it because I need it, I'm taking it because I want it, I want to enjoy it, I think that's fine. Same with alcohol, right? I think little is okay, but what I'm trying to say is that these are all factors that would affect your energy as a vessel of emotions. After all, we are all energy. The soul is energy. If you are, for example, eating meat, right, which is why I talk about I always talk to my friends about halal meat. Why is that a better option sometimes? Because you're not carrying the trauma, the damage that was done to them when they were slaughtered, right, as animals. And energy does get carried into the meat, right? And energy does get carried into the food. And if you consume that, you're eating all those, trauma, unhappiness, that moment of slaughter, right? And that over a long period of time is going to affect you, right? And that has affected us all already, which is why people are awakening now in 2024, 2025. We are starting to pay attention to these things because we're starting to become conscious, because it's an ascension period for all of us on Earth, okay? On the Earth school, which is the toughest school in the universe. But anyway, as I go, the clear vessel aspect, right? If you're someone who still dabbles in wanting popularity on social media, wanting to impress people, you're wanting to look good for other people, you want to divert your own attention and energy to other things besides your own problems. For example, looking at social media, looking at other people's lives, gossiping, complaining, instead of focusing on yourself and your own world, right? Your internal world, your mind, your spirit, your soul alignment. That is not being a clear vessel. And when you're not being a clear vessel, it is always going to be difficult to discern whether this is your energy you're picking up or it's external. And this is a realization I had only recently because I was watching some videos of some psychics, on YouTube. And there's this psychic, I'm pretty sure you guys would know, Tyler Henry. He's like the Hollywood medium, right? So he is an extremely clear vessel, right? Which is why when he channels and he connects with the deceased, he's so clear and he's so spot on. And he knows absolutely those are not his memories, those are not his emotions. Because you just can't touch things that are going to affect you energetically and emotionally, like alcohol and things like that, okay? I'm not saying that you have to be away from it, right? But in moments of vulnerability is the time that you don't really want to be dabbling into all these things. For example, if I'm going to be channeling, I'm not going to consume alcohol for 1 or 2 days, right? At least before and after, because it's going to affect my energy. It's going to affect my, not just energy, right? Attention, focus, things like that. And over time, as I stay away from all the substances, even like smoking, right? Like that has given me a lot more clarity in understanding it's not my energy. So when it comes to a spiritual explanation surrounding like more, I would say, sensitive topics like depression and things like that, we all know how, especially people who are depressed, right? You know how it works. Like it just comes, and your life could be perfect. You could have everything you want, but you're still depressed. For me, I can't speak for everyone, but for me, I'm starting to realize that those are emotions and energies that are not mine, that I'm picking up on. Where is it coming from? Externally, I don't really know exactly where. It could be people that I was romantically connected to. It could be energies that were just happened to be passing by, negative energies that attached to me because I was not in a great state. I didn't have enough protection spiritually, energetically. And that has created so much anxiety for me, depressive states, okay, and that I struggled to get out of for a long time. By staying away from all these things that have been affecting me in being a clear vessel has allowed me in time to discern that, you know what, like this is not right, like this is not my energy. I'm starting to get into this like slump again. Why am I getting into this slump? Why? I need to identify it, and then the practical steps to take. If I identify that, okay, those are feelings that are not mine, I cleanse myself, I meditate more in the day, I create more protection, I cast more return to sender spells. Okay, so this is how and why every single human being on earth should learn to be a clear vessel. This will lead you to healthier days, more positive days. Even if you're not a practitioner, it doesn't matter. It's going to make you feel better about yourself, about your life, okay? By taking the necessary steps to improve your life. I know a lot of you don't touch alcohol, you don't touch substances, but when it comes to environment and being a clear vessel, it's beyond those things. It could be vaping, it could be gambling, playing mobile games, anything that's related to addiction, short-term gratification, anything that makes you feel good in the moment to fill a void. Okay, so this includes things like gossiping with your friends, talking about someone else, because in the moment you're directing the energy to somewhere else, and when you're gossiping, it tends to be a bit negative, right? You could be, you know how conversations work, right? Let's be real. Sometimes you talk about a friend and you're like, oh, like I wonder how XYZ is doing, you know, maybe this person is not doing that great. You know, it's like conversation, small talks about other people. Well, I have a friend. I don't talk to her much anymore, but I remember specifically when she told me in the past, she was like, oh, I don't talk to people who talk about people anymore. I talk to people who talk about things, about practicalities, about life, right? And this is something that I think everyone should move towards. Like, you don't talk about people, other people, but talk about yourself, how it can be better, brainstorming for ideas, you know, just positive energy. And I think that's so important. Okay, so I hope this video helped. I'm just going on, but this is a recent, I would say, realization that I've had myself about the need to be a clear vessel, and why practitioners need to be clear vessels, and why human beings should be clear vessels, and how we should learn to all be clear vessels, not just for us to be able to discern, but it's for our own mental health, our own emotional health. Okay, that would be important in the long run as well. Okay, so I hope it helps someone. And I feel like there's one point that I didn't really touch on, which is like, okay, so when you become a clear vessel, like you're very healthy, you're very grounded, you know exactly how you feel every single time. You know exactly, okay, today I did this and that. I shouldn't be feeling this way, right? You know logically I shouldn't be feeling this way. And randomly you start thinking about someone else, for example, like someone pops up in your head, right? And then you're starting to get some emotions. That is a sure way to know that that's not your emotion, that's not your energy, that's not your memory that you're picking up on. It is someone else's memory, it is someone else's energy. And this is how psychics are able to channel, okay, in the same way. Not all psychics channel in a way where it's like a storytelling, like, the entire essay, the entire conversation is playing out with the deceased, right? Or the spirit. Often it's about feeling those emotions themselves and seeing, hearing, feeling memories themselves. It really depends on their gifts, right? Everyone's so different. It's so hard to say this is exactly how someone would pick up things intuitively. Everyone's just different. Your energy is different. The way you connect with spirit is different. The way you connect with self is different. The way you connect with source, everyone's different, okay? And for you to find clarity in your life, to be able to discern between someone else's energy and yours, is to first be a clear vessel. Okay, practice grounding, regulation, emotional and mental regulation. Okay, and then replace bad habits with good habits, replace toxic environment with positive environment, okay, and do whatever feels right to you, all right? Sending you guys lots of love and light. If you want me to cover any topics, feel free to let me know. Do subscribe and drop a like button and comment. Okay, hit the like button and comment if you can. And, just let me know what you think about my videos, whether the background is too messy whatsoever. All right.